CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Evan Kenny.
Good evening. The federal government is officially moving to ban kids under the age of 16 from using social media. The measure was introduced in online safety legislation tabled today.
We're failing our children. Enough is enough. Our parents cannot face these challenges alone, and the safety of children can't be an afterthought. We need basic protection in place so every child in this country can be safe on platforms they use every day.
In addition to the ban, the bill would also regulate platforms and companies behind AI chatbots by requiring them to act responsibly. That would include measures such as crisis intervention protocols. The bill covers 7 types of content. They include inducing self-harm, bullying, inciting violence, promoting hatred, and non-consensual intimate content. Alberta's government says policies should focus on empowering parents and giving them the tools needed to protect children. One of the groups helping guide the city with the installation of the new Harbin Gate says it can no longer support the project. It's raising questions about cost and design. CTV's Nermanisa reports.
This is also about the identification of the Chinese culture, our spiritual belief.
Billy To with the Chinese Benevolent Association says the Harbin Gate means a lot for the Chinese community. It's one of several groups providing cultural guidance on the new gate. The CBA is now pulling its support.
Unfortunately, I think our voice and our view and our guidance has been sidelined.
The group believes their input is not being taken seriously. It's also against the gate's $8.7 million price tag. A couple of years ago, the city approved nearly $3 million extra for this project. However, the group says that they would rather see that money put towards other revitalization efforts for Chinatown.
I think the priorities of the communities as a whole at the Chinatown and also next to our neighbor, the downtown as well, the safety, the sanitation and also the recovery of the business will be more benefits for the residents and also the local businesses.
The old Harbin Gate located in Chinatown was taken down in 2017 for LRT construction. The new one is being installed at 97th Street just before Jasper Avenue.
As a community, we have to be also accountable for the rest of the Edmontonians. So the optics doesn't look good with that price tag, and we're getting inferior material.
The area's councillor says there are many groups involved in the process, and Stevenson refutes the claim the CBA's concerns are being dismissed.
I know that city staff worked in earnest with them over many years, many meetings and engagements. The city has no reason to build this gate except for community.
Construction on the gate began in March of this year. The project is slated to be completed sometime in 2027. Nermanisa, CTV News, Edmonton.
Edmonton's mayor is pushing a 5-year economic strategy for the city. Andrew Knack says the plan is focused on getting more business to set up shop here. Business advocates say the city may first need to change impressions investors have. CTV's Connor Hogg has more.
Hope Docking got into the video game industry working at Edmonton-based company BioWare. She's since founded her own company, which is working on creating a game called Otter Half.
That's something that Edmonton is going to be proud of internationally, that we're a hub for video game development. We have to put in the effort and the time and the money to grow that from the grassroots up.
Edmonton wants its 5-year economic development strategy to help local businesses grow. The plan outlines ways to create a stronger business environment, drive investment, and better market the city. Mayor Andrew Knack says all could help build Edmonton's non-residential tax base.
We've been seeing growth in business in the city. We've been seeing economic development improvements in the city, but it's not at the scale that I think we need. And so that's where I would agree to say we're not doing enough.
Business advocates say some of the city's policies have driven away investment. They say more needs to be done to fight negative impressions some investors have of Edmonton.
We would like to see beautification and cleanliness and action. This plan assumes that this is part of economic development, but it isn't named as an action, and we think it needs to be.
What is the story about this place? Are people inspired and confident enough to invest here? that feeling drives the decisions that actually move economies.
I'm encouraged that we actually will be taking this seriously in a way that maybe we haven't been for quite some time.
City Council has passed a motion that administration work with the different business improvement areas on specifics in order to make this plan a reality. Connor Hogg, CTV News, Edmonton.
The province is halting a rebrand of emergency health services following significant pushback from paramedics. Last month, the province said EHS paramedics would be changing to Alta Paramedic Health. Organizations representing paramedics said new uniforms and a new logo did nothing to address EMS staffing issues. Alberta's Hospital and Surgical Health Services Minister says she's ordered the rebrand to stop and EHS to return to its previous name and logo. Adriana LaGrange is also promising consultations. Her ministry says less than $25,000 in project funding was spent on the rebrand. It says no operational money went towards the project. The EPS Homicide Unit is now leading an investigation into the death of a 22-year-old man. Police say early this morning, officers responded to a call that someone was in medical distress near 124th Street and 109th Avenue. Officers found the 22-year-old who was declared dead at the scene. Police say an autopsy has not yet been scheduled. Investigators are asking anyone with dash cam or doorbell video to contact them. Police say the death of a man found in northeast Edmonton this morning is also considered suspicious. Police say officers were responding to a different call near 118th Avenue and 47th Street when they found a seriously injured man. He was taken to hospital where he died. Police arrested a second person at the scene and are not looking for other suspects. Police say the person who was arrested and the victim knew each other. Police are putting out a warning about a man charged in more than a dozen fraudulent buy and sell transactions. Last year, Ryan Kenzie was convicted and served a sentence for 9 fraud offenses. Police say he contacted people selling items like watches, phones, and jewelry. He would meet the seller and say he had sent an e-transfer that was never actually sent. Police say since being released, Kenzie is facing new charges for the same kind of scheme. They're asking anyone who may have been defrauded to contact investigators. While he says nothing is set in stone, Alberta's energy minister says several proponents have stepped forward to pay for a new West Coast pipeline. He says one of those groups is a Fortune 500 company willing to take on all costs. CTV's Tim Brook has more.
Alberta's energy minister says he isn't worried about the July 1st pipeline application deadline.
You know, you're going to have to wait and see, but all indicators are at this stage that we'll be meeting that deadline.
Brian Jean isn't saying much about potential routes or deals with BC, but he is finally talking about who could pay.
We have had a number of proponents come forward and ask to be participants within the pipeline and asked to be investors in the pipeline and want to have offtake on the pipeline.
Jean wouldn't name any of the potential proponents or say if any will be attaching their names to the July 1st application. But he does say one American company is especially interested, and Jean appeared to open the door to government investment in the project too.
Certainly the First Nations will be in the partnership. It's possible that the different governments may be. We've had one particular discussion with a proponent, actually a Fortune 500 company, in very general terms, about financing the entire project and building the entire project.
The minister reiterated Indigenous Canadian co-ownership will still be prioritized.
The idea of a wholly foreign-owned pipeline in which there was no Indigenous participation, I think could be quite difficult to sell, if not impossible, given the parameters that have been laid out in the federal government's major projects guidelines.
But there are signs local companies aren't jumping at the opportunity right now.
Over the past decade, we have continued to add incremental regulatory burdens and costs to the industry.
In a speech Tuesday, the leader of one of Canada's biggest oil companies called the pipeline unfinanceable. He's not happy with new emissions reduction policies.
Part of what they're advocating now is we can't afford to pay the industrial carbon price on all our production and also afford this $30 to $40 billion project. Can you pick one or the other?
Tim Brook, CTV News, Calgary.
Volunteers with Water Not Coal dropped off boxes of signed petitions to the Elections Alberta office in Edmonton this afternoon. The group has been collecting signatures to stop coal exploration and mining in the eastern slopes of the Rockies. Proponents say mining hurts the environment and puts water at risk. Alberta musician Corb Lund has been behind this petition push. He says in his experience, coal companies are not forthcoming about how much they pollute.
Don't trust them 1 inch. And I tell anyone who's a fiscal conservative who's concerned about the taxpayer that this is a golden opportunity to save the taxpayer billions, because I stake my reputation on the fact that at the end of this thing, in 10, 20, 30 years, when the coal's gone, the taxpayer will be left with billions of dollars to clean up, just like we always are.
Lund says he also expects the provincial government to use the question as stated on the petition. Since his team jumped through hoops to get the wording approved, Elections Alberta has 21 days to verify the petition. The two final MLA recall petitions are now void. Alberta's chief electoral officer says the petition to recall NDP MLA Marie Renaud was withdrawn by the applicant. The petition against Progressive Tory Party MLA Peter Guthrie was not submitted with signatures by the deadline. All 28 recall petitions against MLAs have either fizzled out or failed to get the required signatures. A new program is giving kids a chance to volunteer in the community while helping animals. It's called Karma. As CTV's Amanda Anderson explains, the name is appropriate, with the program proving beneficial to all involved.
Oh, hello!
Playing with kittens is a perk for these young volunteers.
So cute. They're the cutest things ever. I want to take them all home.
They're part of a new program started by the Alberta Homeward Hound Rescue Bureau called Karma.
Karma stands for Kids, Animal Rescue, Mentorship and Advocacy. So the program is actually built around so that children have an opportunity to volunteer and help out with animals.
Kids get to learn how a rescue runs and get hands-on experience helping at adoption events.
And we introduce all of our animals. We have charity events. We have a golf tournament that we do charity at. Sometimes I make toys for the cats and dogs.
Volunteer work the kids enjoy, especially having an active role helping animals find forever homes.
We just want every animal to have a good home. It's important for kids to learn how to take care of animals and how to advocate for animals.
That's why we created this program, because not all children excel in sports or have interest in sports. This is something else they can do. It's no cost to anyone.
In just 4 months, Karma already has 20 kids volunteering.
So we're also looking for leaders, people that are interested in learning about animal rescue as adults that could come and potentially help us with our Karma program, because it is growing so quickly.
Krista Atmore says having the kids around has eased pressure on regular volunteers.
I really enjoy spending time with them and seeing the joy that these animals bring to them.
I love the people I've met through it, and I love just being able to be there for animals and provide safety and loving support for animals.
Amanda Anderson, CTV News, St. Albert.
TSN is reporting the NHL is moving forward with an investigation into former head coach Mike Babcock. The investigation is connected to allegations Babcock invaded players' privacy during his brief time with the Columbus Blue Jackets in 2023. On Monday, TSN reported the Edmonton Oilers may want to hire Babcock as head coach. The team asked the NHL Players Association if anything needed to be resolved before that could be done. TSN says if Babcock backs out at this stage, there would be no reason for the league to investigate. Babcock resigned from the Blue Jackets after a report says he asked players to share personal photos from their phones. There's a new way to explore attractions around the city through the Discover Edmonton Pass and the Edmonton Explorer trolley service. There's 20 stops where you can get on and off the 1920s style trolley. The trolley service will open to the public Monday and will run until Thanksgiving. 3 trolleys will run each day of the week on 2 different routes. One goes through central Edmonton, the other goes to the west end. Admissions to some stops are included in the Discover Pass, like the TELUS World of Science or Fort Edmonton Park. Explore Edmonton says it's a great way for both locals and tourists to see more of the city. Tickets to rides start at $30. The Discover Edmonton Pass starts at $39. Coming up next, we show you the mini mansion replica of a famous Alberta family and how it's bringing back memories.
Good evening, folks. 18 degrees for a daytime high and some showers and thunderstorms off and on through the day. I don't think it's going to be as significant tomorrow as what we saw today. But again, there's a chance of some scattered showers in the area midday and early afternoon. We'll talk more about that and the sunnier and warmer weather on the way for the weekend in just a few minutes.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
An Alberta artist has created a miniature version of the Hart Mansion, the iconic Southwest Calgary home where Bret Hart and his 11 siblings grew up. As Tyler Barrow explains, the little sculpture has brought back a lot of memories.
This is the front of the house. This is the best part of the house.
Legendary wrestling icon Bret Hart is reliving a big part of his childhood.
I was usually in this room with 5 brothers.
In total, 11 of Bret's siblings, 4 sisters, and 7 brothers lived at the home. This miniature version was designed by Penny Tates. Bret's niece, Kristen Neidhart, reached out to the artist asking if she could make a replica of one of Calgary's most famous homes, the place where Stu and Helen Hart put Calgary on the world wrestling map, pictured here with their grandchildren.
When I realized who her grandparents were, it was a pretty easy yes for me.
The mini mansion includes the dungeon, the basement training facility where the greatest wrestlers in the world would come to train. Tates didn't deviate from the details. Notice the damaged ceiling from wrestlers' heads? There's even Terrible Ted the bear who stayed with the family for several months during the summers.
And the bear would be under here in a cage. And you just hang your feet down, and the bear would lick your feet.
Different times. The real home has 22 rooms, the miniature 20, some more popular than others.
This is the kitchen of the house, and this is the heart of the house.
The home is still standing, located in the city's southwest Patterson Heights neighborhood. The family sold it in the early 2000s. Brad is pictured here on the left with his siblings. The 1:24 scale model reminds him how much fun he had growing up there.
It was a house of love, like mostly for so many people that were there.
Tate spent over 750 hours building the mansion, which was a labor of love for the lifelong Bret Hart fan.
Where you're replicating one of the most iconic houses in the city, it was just such an honor and a privilege.
And meeting one of the all-time greatest wrestlers is something the artist behind the project will never forget.
Getting to meet him was like a dream come true. It was always a bucket list for me.
And dare to dream. Tyler Barrow, CTV News, Calgary.
The Calgary Humane Society is taking care of a wayward sheep until its owner is found. The lamb was spotted running on the streets of Northwest Calgary neighborhood on Monday. It's not clear where it came from. A Good Samaritan helped corral it until police showed up and turned the animal over to the Humane Society. The lamb is now enjoying time at a foster home outside the city. The Humane Society says he has generated a lot of attention.
There was definitely some giddy excitement around. He's a young guy, but he's got some excitement. He's got some pep to him. Throughout the year, we can get various calls related to livestock. It can be things like an owner surrender. It could be our officers investigating a case. And it can even be strays kind of wandering around and they need somewhere to go.
Anyone with information about where the sheep came from is asked to contact the Humane Society. Alberta researchers say more needs to be done to combat loneliness in older adults in our province. A new report from the University of Calgary shows loneliness levels have improved since the height of the COVID-19 pandemic. Still, researchers say Albertans between the age of 65 and 85 are experiencing what they call an epidemic of loneliness. 1 in 3 adults surveyed reported feeling isolated. A quarter said they felt left out or lacking in companionship, One of the report's authors says when it comes to combating loneliness, it's about more than just increased social interaction.
It's not so much having, lots of meetups with people, going to religious services or other community events, as it is when the interactions we have with people, we feel like we matter to others. So what really seems to be needed, I think, at this point, given that we're seeing this bedrock of loneliness, is more opportunities for older adults to form meaningful, impactful social connections with each other.
He adds financial strain is a key factor when it comes to loneliness in people of all ages, so it's important to focus on relationship-building efforts that are also affordable. Still ahead, this afternoon's rain didn't stop thousands of kids from taking in the Edmonton Riverhawks game.
They may not even know how to spell baseball, but they know they had a great experience here, and our players will really remember this, so we're pretty happy.
Brought to you by Alberta iGaming Corporation. For integrity, for fun, for Alberta.
Welcome back. 18 degrees. Your high today will be in the same ballpark tomorrow, about 17 or 18, depending on the timing of the showers. When the showers and thunderstorms ripped through today, knocked temperatures back from 18 to 14 before they kind of rebounded late in the afternoon. Most of the shower activity tomorrow morning is going to be here off to the north and northeast. I think we're just mostly cloudy tomorrow morning in the city. And then in the afternoon, we are on the edge of this. So, I mean, there's a chance all those shower cells stay south and west of the city. That's certainly where most of the shower and thunderstorm activity will be. I think there's a better chance that we get at least some precipitation as opposed to no precipitation. So scattered showers and potentially an isolated thunderstorm or two, especially midday and early afternoon. By late afternoon into the evening, I think it starts to push further to the south. Friday morning, I've kept a slight chance of showers in the forecast. You can see it's probably just cloudy, though. I think it's mainly going to be across southern and western parts of Alberta that we see the rain Friday morning. And then by Friday afternoon, we actually start to get a little bit of clearing here in the Edmonton area, and there is more sunshine in the forecast for the weekend as well. 8 to 10 degree range for most of the province tomorrow morning. Look at these afternoon temperatures, though. Almost no warming in Fort McMurray. 9. 12 in Cold Lake for a daytime high. It'd be about 12 in Peace River. Grand Prairie, Whitecourt get to the 16-17 range, and we'll be in that 16-17 range as well. East Central Alberta and Red Deer. Jasper up to about 18 for a high tomorrow. And we'll be in that 17-18 range Thursday and Friday. Mostly cloudy skies. Gusts at times to around 30 kilometers per hour both tomorrow and Friday. You get a 60% chance of showers in the afternoon tomorrow. A slight chance of a spotty shower Friday morning. Then some sunny breaks in the afternoon. Look at the weekend, 21 and 23. So around or just slightly above average. Get to the mid-20s Monday, but then another cool down sets in for the middle to the end of next week. That is your forecast.
Thousands of students skipped class today to head to Remax Field for a school spirit-themed Riverhawks game. CTV's Miriam Valdez-Carletti has more.
Remax Field is louder than usual on a Wednesday afternoon, with more than 8,000 kids cheering on the Edmonton Riverhawks.
We have volunteers that have hearing problems, and so we wanted them to experience this noise for about 2 hours today.
It's really fun. I just like to be loud, and it's outside, so you get to scream.
An atmosphere even the players are loving.
Summer ball, this is hands down the top I think that it gets.
Before I got here, a couple hundred, 500 was the most amount of people I play in front of, but here, this is thousands of people.
These students from across the Edmonton area are soaking up every inning of the school spirit-themed game.
We really hope the team wins, and it's a lot of fun to come here. I want them to really win, and it's my first ever baseball game.
The Riverhawks say adding a theme to each game helps create a fun experience for everyone, including the mascots.
We really want to be different each and every game, and that's what really I think is a big part of our personality, and we want people coming down here not knowing what they might expect.
While the Riverhawks fell 7-3 to the Victoria Harbour Cats, it didn't dampen the spirits of these young fans.
They may not even know how to spell baseball, but they know they had a great experience here, and our players will really remember this, so we're pretty happy.
Miriam Valdez-Carletti, CTV News, Edmonton.
Pretty fun way to spend a day of school. That is all the time we have tonight. Thank you for tuning in. Connor Hogg will take over the desk tomorrow. Have a good night.